Hello. Good morning. Good morning. 10:20 on the East Coast. 9, 8, 7, 7:20 on the Pacific Coast. All right. Oh wait, hold on. I hear myself. I gotta close something. YouTube. I had everything opened and so I was echoing. Okay. So this right here is a testament to doing things ugly. I was like, okay, I want to start doing these live sessions and I want to start doing them every week. And I need to start this week. I looked at my schedule. The only time I had available was today at 10:20. And so I literally created the link, sent it out, and here we are. Um, because if I don't start today, I truly, truly will keep putting it off and putting it off and putting it off. So we're starting today. And Fallon, I see that you're here, and who knows if anyone else will join. And I am completely okay with that because I committed to doing this every week and I committed to starting this week. And so I'm proud of myself for showing up. So today, we are going to talk about setting realistic expectations for new practice owners. This one is really important because a lot of social media and a lot of just social media in general has the entrepreneurship lane and the fast lane, right? Like, no matter what type of business that you desire to start, it seems like it's like you got to start it now. You will start making 10K months as soon as you start. And that's just not true. And so if this is your first time pursuing something in the entrepreneurship lane, then you may feel like you're behind when you launch, and you may feel like you're doing things wrong, and you're not. It's just the realistic expectations were not set, and so you feel like you're failing. So today, I really want to just dive into what are some realistic expectations for new practice owners. All right. So, first of all, launching a business is no easy feat. So, launching your practice alone is a huge accomplishment. So, don't skip past that milestone of actually going through the process of launching a practice. All right? You Once you do that, you need to celebrate. Week-long celebration just for going through the obstacles that it took for you to even launch. All right. Many new business owners, they feel like that they are quote unquote failing in the first few months, but this is honestly part of the process because growth takes time. All right. So, um, many of us have multiple degrees. And so when we were in nursing school, our original degree for registered nurse, when we were there, we had to most likely sacrifice some part of our salary. So some of us were college students, traditional college students, and so, living on the bare minimum. Others of us transitioned from a different salary, a different career. And so you had to decrease your hours once those clinicals started because now you have lecture and clinical. So either one of those routes, whether you were a traditional nursing student or a non-traditional nursing student, you had to sacrifice profit. You had to sacrifice revenue, right? You had to sacrifice the money that you were making to feed yourself and or your family. But for some reason, it's okay in our eyes to sacrifice those 2 years to 4 years getting your master's. It's okay to sacrifice that for the idea of getting a job that will make you six figures, right? So you work on this degree for 2 to 4 years that will eventually get you six figures. But when you launch a business, you want to launch the business and then the first month you want to make six figures or you want to make 10K months or you want to make 5K months. So what's the difference between taking the time and the pay cut to get what's needed to work for someone else, but yet you don't give yourself that same grace when you launch your business? Okay, so think about that as you go on and you compare how much you're making in your business to, how much you're getting through a paycheck from someone else's business. Did you ask them how long it took for them to be able to write you a paycheck? Right? When they first started, they didn't start being able to write you a paycheck. All right, so give yourself grace. Revenue timeline. 80% of small businesses don't see consistent profit until 12 to 18 months after launching. Okay, this is all businesses. This is not just specific to telemedicine practices. 80% of small businesses don't see consistent profit until 12 to 18 months after launching. Medical practices specifically often take 6 to 12 months to establish consistent revenue streams. All right, 6 to 12 months. And this is with active testing and trialing and marketing, which we're going to talk about. Patient volume grows gradually as trust and referrals build. So that means that in the beginning, when you press publish on your website, no one knows who you are. No one even trusts you. Okay, so a lot of the times we, keep pushing the timeline back from publishing our website because we feel like everything isn't ready, but then you publish it and people don't know who you are, so you're still not getting patients. So if you haven't done the background work, as far as laying the foundation for people to recognize who you are, for you to establish trust, for you to establish yourself as an expert in your niche, if you haven't done any of that, then your growth really starts, your journey starts when you actually launch. So I always encourage people and new business owners to start building connections and community before you're even ready to see your first patient. Okay. So as the community that you are building trusts you, and as word of mouth spreads, because the more people you serve, well, the more they want to talk about your services, then that's when you'll start seeing just how fast you grow. First year revenue expectations. New businesses typically earn about 25 to 50% of their long-term revenue potential in the first year. So that means in the first year that you launch, let's say that you made $60,000 in that first year. So your long-term revenue potential is about $120,000, can be up to $120,000 with those exact same revenue streams and marketing tactics. Okay. So what that means is if you were not to change anything in what you're doing and you just continuously increase the amount of patients that you're serving, then you can go up to the full 100% of your potential. However, the goal is always to scale. Once something is working, you scale it, which is a whole different conversation. But the goal is always to figure out what's working, do more of that, do less of what's not working. Okay. Growth depends on niche clarity, consistent marketing, and operational efficiency. So in the telehealthpreneur launch protocol, which is my proprietary framework for launching a telemedicine practice, this goes in line with three of the 5 pillars: a specific niche, effective marketing strategies, and the perfect patient journey. All right. So if you don't have 3 of these, which we have 5 in our protocol, but this specifically, if you don't have these 3, you will bleed money or you will waste time. It's just that simple. So if you don't know exactly who you're serving and how you are serving them, and not just that, y'all, if you don't know how to talk to them, if you don't know what they truly are looking for, what their pain is, what their pleasure is, what they've tried in the past, if you have not done true research on your niche, then you will not have clarity around it. Consistent marketing. So what does consistent marketing look like? We will discuss in a couple of slides. So I'll save that one, but consistent marketing, not just marketing. Okay. And the launch protocol actually has a pillar for effective marketing. All right. So I really should add consistent and effective. So it's not just Marketing, which there's so much under the umbrella of marketing, but unfortunately, many new business owners believe that it's just posting on social media. But no, effective and consistent marketing, and then operational efficiency. So, because you are an online business, you will be looked at just like any other online business. So when you get ads about like this amazing pair of shoes, but you've never heard the company before, you click on it, you'll look at some reviews, and then you probably won't buy. But if that company does well with their marketing, they're going to keep retargeting you and you're going to keep seeing them over and over and over again. That's the consistency in their marketing. Now you're like, okay, let me check out these shoes again, right? You'll click on the website again. You'll do that over and over until finally you're like, let me just try it out. All right? So that is part of their customer journey. Okay? So if you decide to try it out, you press checkout, and then now on the checkout screen, you're all confused. There's a whole bunch of pop-up ads going on, or you purchased the shoes and you never got a confirmation, you never got a shipping link. Now you're skeptical and you're probably going to your credit card company to uh, dispute the charge. It's the same thing in your online telemedicine practice. If the journey from them finding out that you exist to them actually booking a consultation with you, if there's any obstacles in that process, then you're most likely you have a higher chance of losing them as a paid patient. Okay. How much to market, right? So this goes into the consistency in your marketing. So you should allocate about 7 to 10% of your projected revenue for marketing. So this is in regards to a marketing budget. All right. So I remember when one of my very first mentors, when we started working together, and I was telling her, like I'm really struggling getting patients. I'm not really generating a lot of revenue. And she said, like, what is your current marketing budget? And I was like, you didn't hear me, huh? I don't have any money, sis. So I have no marketing budget. And she said, you don't have any money because you don't have a marketing budget. Right. So what we did was she was like, realistically, how much can you put in per week for seeing some good paid effective marketing? And I was able to do $50 a week. So I did that. And then I started getting more patients. And then I started increasing my budget, my marketing budget. All right. So this is just a good range for you to have in your mind of what a realistic marketing budget looks like. Honestly, the industry standard is 20% if you want your business to rapidly grow. So my goal was always trying to get to that 20% mark, but you of course will work your way up to that. Oh yeah, see, it says fast growing practices may spend up to 15%. I was always taught 20. Let's see. Dedicate 20 to 30% of your weekly hours to marketing during the early stages. Okay. So so let's say you have dedicated 10 hours, 10 to 15 hours per week to your practice. So you were like, I can see patients 10 hours a week, the mornings before my full-time job or the evenings after my full-time job, and then the weekends. Well, in that beginning stage, you probably won't have patients to fill out all of those blocks. So you need to dedicate all the time that you are not seeing patients to marketing. All right. Every single hour that you put aside on your schedule that does not have a patient, you should be actively marketing. Show up daily or at least 3 to 5 times per week on social media, email campaigns, ads, etc. So showing up daily or at least 3 to 5 times per week on whichever avenue that you choose to do. So some people like Facebook, right? Like that's where you naturally post all the time, even personally. Some people like Instagram. You now have Twitter. Well, not Twitter, X. You have Threads, which is also great. It's the meta version of X. Some people have already started posting on YouTube. YouTube has community aspect now. You can go live on YouTube. So, and then of course you need to have an email list because that is something that you own, right? So I have 11,000 followers on Instagram, but I don't own those. So if Instagram was taken away, which we have seen as possible because of what we just saw with TikTok. So if they took away that, how would I market if that's all I have? So no matter what you have, you still need an email list and you need to show up to them consistently. Okay, when I launched my private practice and I was consistently marketing, it was not uncommon for people to direct message me on my Instagram because that was the route that I chose, and they would say, "Hey, I've been following you for about 4 months now and I'm finally ready to make this appointment with you." Then I would look and they weren't actually following me on Instagram. They didn't click follow, but they've been checking in on me for 4 months, all right? So don't let the follower numbers get to your head and etcetera. Um, Instagram tells people's business. So a lot of people won't comment on your content. They won't follow your content because they don't want other people who know them to see that. So if you're like a weight loss clinic, or if you are a psych provider and you deal with anxiety, depression, or domestic violence, or anything like that, a lot of people will not follow your page and they will not like your content simply because they don't want it to show up for other people that they know. Okay, so keep that in mind. Marketing isn't a one and done task. Consistency builds trust. Like I said, people are watching whether you have a large following or not. All right, so during that time frame from you launching to you actually seeing enough patients for you to be like, okay, I'm consistently generating $5,000 per month, that's called the waiting period. All right. So the waiting period exists because patients need about 7 to 12 interactions with your practice before trusting you as a provider. So going back to that ad that you saw about the new shoes that you think are really nice, but you've never heard of this brand before, how many times do they have to follow you? How many times do you have to see that brand before you finally decide to put your credit card number in their system? It's the same thing with your patients. All right. So just because they interacted with you one time and you're like, oh my God, they said that they're going to book a consult and then it's crickets, do not get down on yourself. That's simply because that was one interaction out of the 12 that they need. Okay. So you need to constantly show up because I'm telling you, the people that if you have done your research and you are clear about your niche, all right, you are consistently and effectively marketing and you are showing up. Oh, wait, you're consistently effectively marketing. So you're showing up and you have the perfect patient journey in place, you will start seeing those people convert to paying patients. Okay. Word of mouth and reviews take time to grow organically, but they are the absolute highest form of marketing. All right. Word of mouth and reviews are the highest form of marketing. People connect with other people. People don't necessarily buy from businesses anymore, they buy from people. And so if you have reviews and the reviews are saying, like, hey, I was feeling this before working with Tiffany. After working with Tiffany, I now feel like this, people will connect with that. Nobody wants to be the first person. Okay. So reviews and word of mouth, that is what your ultimate goal is. What to do during this time? You need to optimize your systems, ensure your website and booking systems are seamless. When I first launched, even still to this day, I just do it in a different way. But when I first launched my practice, I went through my website at least 3 times a week. Right. And I went through it as a dummy patient. Like I would press test, I would name myself test January, test February. And I would go through the entire stage from someone clicking on my link from Instagram bio. What does that look like? Where does that take them? Is there any questions that I feel like may need some additional guidance on? Going through and actually reading the information, clicking more information, clicking book now, like go through the entire process, receive those email confirmations, those text message notifications, make sure the links are working. Like you need to go through everything because if you're just rolling blind, you could be missing out on patients. They're not going to message you. They have to be really hot for what you got to message you and say, hey, I tried to book, but your link isn't working. There's so many options on the internet. They're just going to go to the next one. All right. So be sure that all of that is functioning. Engage locally. So I need you to attend events, collaborate with other providers, or host workshops. If you are launching in the state that you live in, then you can physically do this and you can also digitally do this because of course you may have a full-time job and a family to entertain on the weekends. Okay. um my trigger worked on the comment. That's funny. So if you are launching in a state that you don't live in, then you need to do this virtually, which is still possible, right? There's LinkedIn, there's Facebook groups, there's a new platform that I got invited to, and it's literally made for referrals. So you join this platform, you create your profile, and then you tell the platform what type of referrals, what type of other providers that you'd like to refer back and forth with. People connect with you, and then you create like a little referral system. I'm gonna have to figure out the name of that, and then I'll post it in the comments. But yeah, so you would need to create relationships to secure a referral system for yourself. Okay. Oh, and then host workshops, y'all. Don't underestimate that. People like to attend things where they can see and hear the person talking. All right. They want to be able to drop comments live. All right. Yes, it's alignable. Thank you, Fallon. It's alignable. Alignable. All right. Gather reviews, encourage happy patients to leave Google and social media reviews. Something that is important to know is that Google, of course, is a search engine and you want your business to be optimized for that search engine. So one of the quickest ways to start coming up on the first page of Google is reviews. So if you have a Google My Business profile and people leave reviews and they leave reviews that include the keywords that you want to come up for, that's the quickest way to start coming up. So definitely, like, you'd be surprised. In the beginning, I was really hesitant about asking for reviews. Like, I don't know why. It's honestly not in us as providers. At our full-time job, we do what we're supposed to do our job, give them their education, and we're like, good luck, right? But when it's your business, you definitely need to pursue these reviews, and people are happy to do it, right? Like, I ended up finding out that people love writing the reviews because they're actually happy with the services that I provided. Okay. Um, Test marketing. So experiment with different platforms, content types, and messaging. So testing is a part of marketing that you will never, ever, ever stop doing. You must test, don't guess. Okay. So you'll put something out there, you'll test it for a minimum of 3 months. Okay. So don't do something, put it out there, and then a week later, you're like, nobody bought for me, and you change the whole thing. It takes time, y'all. So test something for no less than 3 months, and then you figure out what needs to be changed in that process. So you don't need to change your entire offer. You need to figure out, where did people stop, right? Like, where did people stop in your process? They made it to your website, they made it to the booking link, but then they stopped. So is your booking widget confusing? Okay, so things like that. And then also tweak your content types. And so, do people really enjoy you dancing to a reel with information on there? Or do people enjoy you showing up live? Or do people enjoy you just answering frequently asked questions with your own voice? Or do they do well with the copy that you put on a B-roll? Do they really interact on your stories? Do you get good responses from your emails? So determine what type of content does the best after you've been doing it for, months, and then do more of that. So I know, I'm going to use my coaching business for an example. I know people respond very well to me talking. So when I consistently show up on my stories and have my camera on me and I'm just talking, I get a whole lot of interaction. But if I just post words, I don't get that much interaction. So what am I doing in 2025? I am now pursuing more live interaction because I know that that is what my audience enjoys. Okay. We have a question. Should landing page be public? Should your landing page for your business be public? Yes, it should. All right. Track metrics. Monitor your website traffic, your social engagement, and patient inquiries. The only way you know what's working is to look at the metrics. The only way you know what's not working is to look at the metrics. I freaking love the data. Okay. So don't sleep on the data. All right, let's talk about how long it takes to build momentum. It takes about 3 to 6 months to get a steady flow of inquiries and appointments to begin. So, like I said, you can start these 3 to 6 months before you actually have a like before you actually are ready to have patients book appointments. You can just start interacting with them, right? You can start building your social media following. You can start collecting emails and talking to them through your email marketing. You can start your free Facebook group. You can start attending networking events. You can start meeting with different brands for partnerships. So you can start this process before you actually are ready to see a patient. That way, when you are ready to see a patient, you may already be on month 4, month 2 of this process. 6 to 12 months is word of mouth referrals start to grow significantly, right? Because now you've had the 3 to 6 month time frame for people to warm up to you. Then they start booking. Then they start getting results, and now they're talking to people about it. Something people don't know how to do is keep good things to themselves. Okay. And so you would be surprised how much your practice grows just from word of mouth. And then 12 to 18 months, you will start to see reliable, consistent revenue streams become the norm. So around the 12-month mark, you know, without a doubt, the minimum that your practice will make every month. Okay. So I like to see that. I like to see like at 12 months, I know there is no way in the world that I should make less than $5,000 a month. Right? Because I have this proven system that has been working because I tested it. I looked at the data, I fixed it, I tested it again, I fixed it, and now I have something that's proven. And so everything that I do, my new testing and stuff may bring me in money, may not bring me in money, but this I know for a fact I should not make less than this amount. You should have that confidence around the 12 to 18 month mark. Okay. Patience and persistence are key during this phase. You are welcome, Angela. You need to stay encouraged. And that's why I'm doing this because, like I said, in the beginning, because of social media and because of this, like, get rich quick, start making 10, start making 6 figures once you launch this business. Yes, that is possible. But realistically, that's not what happens in the beginning. Okay. So definitely stay consistent, stay in it, stay showing up, stay committed to the program that you decided to put out into the world to help people. So, something that I encourage my mentees to do is to figure out their deepest why. Like, not just, I want to leave my job. I'm burnt out. I'm tired of working for someone else. Those are really surface level whys. Your deepest why is because when you get home from work, you're so exhausted that you're not able to give your all to your child who is growing up, who eventually will need you to be all there, and you deeply desire that. So if you are marketing your business for 2 to 3 months and you get no patience, is your why strong enough for you to figure out what the problem is, for you to keep on going? And instead of saying, oh, it's not working, to dig deep and be so eager to make this work that you have no choice but to keep on trying. All right. How did you choose a social media platform to focus on initially? So I think that it's best for you to focus on something that you are natural at. Okay, so some people are like in their personal life, they are straight up like, I don't do social media. Okay. And that's fine. What do you do? Do you read blogs? Do you read emails? Like, are you the type that opens emails and you read them from people that you subscribe to? Are you on LinkedIn instead of Instagram and Facebook? Do you hang out in Facebook groups and actually post, but you don't like to like make reels and make pictures and take pictures? So, or are you like the type of person who goes to the chambers of commerce meetings, right? You like to go to networking events. You like to go to entrepreneurship led brunches. So figure out what you like to naturally do and then adjust that to your business. Okay. Let's see. Fallon says, are you a part of the Telehealthpreneur Collective community? If you're not, you should. Amen. Amen. I am at work and listening. Will you post this? Yes, it will be recorded. It'll be posted on YouTube and Facebook. Okay. Let's see. Let me keep going. So remember, success is about persistence, not perfection. Ain't nothing out here perfect. Okay. I have been in the entrepreneur space since 2020. Wow, in September it'll make 5 official years, and I'm still learning. But now what I do is I'm excited to learn, right? Because when I started this, I decided that it will work. And I'm the type of person that when I put my mind up to something, ain't no stopping me. Okay? So I could have stopped in 2020 when I wasn't making any revenue. I could have gave up in 2022 when I decided to go all in and go part-time at my job and that offer was taken away from me. I could have said, "Oh, I got to put this on hold because I need to go and get this I need to go and figure out how to get another job in order to pay my bills." But for me, it worked out for me that I had a savings account and I was able to calculate how many months my savings would last me, and then I gave myself a chance. So there has been many times, many times in my entrepreneurship journey that I could throw up the white flag and surrender. When I got pregnant, yo, that was scary, right? Like I got pregnant during those 9 months, you don't know what can happen. I was so afraid. Like, what if I had to be put on bed rest? What if I had to be monitored in the hospital for the last 3 months? Like, what am I going to do for revenue when I am my business? I could have said, I quit. I'm going to go get a real job, I'm not a real job. I'm going to go get a full-time job with someone else. So that way I have paid maternity leave, right? Like every step of the way on this entrepreneurship journey, you're going to have times where you're like, it's so much easier if I just give up this and go back to something that's consistent. But that doesn't support my why. My why has always been I no longer desire to exchange time for money. So if I throw in the towel, I have no choice but to go back to exchanging my time for money. And that's not an option for me. Okay, so always go back to your deep down, multi-layered why so that you don't give up whenever all of this is feeling a little bit hard. Y'all, it's new. It's new, and our brain is going to protect us from feeling uncomfortable. So, because it's new and it's uncomfortable, our brain is saying, run in the opposite direction. Go back to what you know is comfortable, which is your full time job, right? Which please do not quit that job until you are able to support yourself in your business. I do not support that. Please do not quit your job. But what I'm saying is, our brains will trick us to feeling like, I don't belong in this entrepreneurship space. And I'm here to tell you, if you are here, even just listening to this today, if you are here, it's because God instilled something in you that means you should be getting more. You should be working for more because there are millions of people who will never even think about clicking on this video, who would never even follow my page because that's not in them. Okay. All right. Let me wrap this up. So focus on what you can control during this time, which is you can control your marketing consistency. You can control delivering an exceptional patient experience. You can control building relationships and trust. You can control action plan for members, so set realistic goals for patient volume and revenue in the first 6 months. You can commit to a daily or weekly marketing schedule and celebrate your small wins to stay motivated. All right. If you are not in a community of like minded individuals, people who are also in the entrepreneurship space, who can understand what you're going through, then I highly recommend that you find one. Of course, I have one inside of the Telehealth Startup Collective. But even outside of that, just find somewhere that you can celebrate your wins and you don't feel like you're bragging. You don't feel like you have to explain why that's a huge step, right? Because if you talk to like your family or your husband or your wife or your kids, they're like, cool, like, yay. But if you talk to someone who's in the trenches with you, you're like, oh, yes, yes, yes. I am so happy you made it over that. Because when I tried to get over that obstacle, it took me 3 months. Like be around people who truly understand the journey that you're going on. Okay. So let's see. Allison says she is challenging herself to post daily on Instagram for 100 days during your startup period to keep you engaged, stay consistent, and get more comfortable. Yes, that is a good point. A lot of people feel uncomfortable going live, posting, talking, all of that. The only way to get comfortable is just to do it, right? So find comfort in the fact that in the beginning, a lot of people ain't watching you anyways. If you go back and scroll all the way to my very first telehealthpreneur post, go ahead when you have time, scroll all the way to the bottom. You will see how stiff I am. I use a different pitch of voice, like my voice is high pitched. I just look a little bit uncomfortable. And my mentor challenged me to going live every day for 30 days. I didn't succeed. I missed like 2 to 3 days of it. But just by going live, that 30 days of me doing that, you could see the change in my voice. My shoulders relax. I get more comfortable because I realized I do know what I'm talking about. It's just really weird to stare at myself in the camera and do it. So I love that, Allison. I cannot wait for you to update me. Please let me know. Please let me know how that's going. Keep me updated. I want to support you in any way that I can doing that. I gotta figure out my mini chat trigger is saying yes, sending you a message now every time someone says yes. Um, all right. What do you think about doing Facebook ads? Is it effective? So this is another talk that I'll be doing soon. Facebook ads are effective, but only if you have the foundations to support it. Many times new entrepreneurs will run Facebook ads, like press boost on a post or go into the Facebook meta ads and just like allow them to help you create it and things like that. No, I do not believe that that is beneficial. You will waste your money, but there is a way to do ads correctly. Um, and then if you invest in learning how to run ads properly, yes, they are beneficial. My business is heavily run on ads now because I chose to pay for my time. So in your entrepreneurship journey, you either will have more time or more money. So in the beginning, I had more time. So I manually posted everything organically, went to all the networking events, like I did on the ground running marketing all organically, right? The things that I paid for were I would pay for like my name to be on a directory that my target audiences used a lot, or I would pay for like a next door ad, things like that. So in the beginning, I did a whole lot of organic marketing. Now that my business makes more money, I would rather pay for my marketing to reach more people. So, yes, long story short, I do believe that it is effective, but there are things that you need in place before you go to invest in that, and you'll waste money if you don't. Learn from me. I lost $12,000, and a marketing agency isn't going to say, like, oh, you don't have this and this and this. No, they're going to say, I'll get this amount of people to look at your website, or I'll get this amount of people to schedule a free consultation with you, just for you to realize that none of those people align with what you are actually doing. They are very, very crappy leads, and you just wasted your money. So I wasted $12,000 doing that. So I don't want you to do that. So Yes, I think it's effective. I do think that you should invest in learning how to properly run them first. All right. What networking events did you do? This will be the last question, and I have to hop off. I have a meeting. So I did in-person ones. So some of the in-person ones I did were like what are they called? Pop-up shops. So basically, some people do this for a living. Uh-oh, is it gonna end? Did I freeze? Okay. Some people host networking events for a living. And so I would go and they would sell booths, and then you would just pay for a booth sometime, or a table, $200 here, $75 here. And what ended up happening for me is I went to one event, and then other people who also host events for a living show up to that event, and then they come to you and they try to solicit you to show up to buy a booth at their event. But because I was the only healthcare and wellness table, I started getting invited for free, because people want to put you on their ad. They want to put you on their flyers and say, hey, come and get free blood pressure screenings from Versatile Therapeutics. She'll be here from this time and this time. And I'm like, sure, sign me up. Right. So I started out with those type of events. And then I started doing free workshops inside of private groups. So some people like personal trainer groups, personal nutrition groups, things like that. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for showing up and hanging out with me on my very first Talks with Tiff. For those of you who didn't join in the beginning, I said that I had committed to doing a Talks with Tiff weekly, and I kept pushing the weeks back, right? And so I was like, you know what? You have to do it this week. I looked at my schedule. Today at 10:20 was the only time that I had available. And so I was like, you know what? We're going to do it. Like, it doesn't have to be pretty. I didn't have the link sent out for until 10 minutes before. But that's something that I had to do, or else I'd keep on waiting till the perfect time, and it just doesn't exist, right? So I was committed to making this I was committed to doing this, and so we showed up. We showed out. Thank you all for hopping on with me. If you are a member of the Telehealth Start Collective, I will see you inside of the community. If you are not, then please consider joining us. I will drop the link here. There you go. Please consider joining us um, inside of that membership. How do I pin this? I can't, huh? Okay, that's fine. I'll just show it. So please consider joining us. I would love to support you on your journey. If you have any questions, send me a message on Instagram, Facebook, or email me support@telehealthpreneur.com. You'll have a great rest of your day. Happy hump day.